Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Weird Watts Wednesday on the Power Network. I'm Amy, and today we're packing up for Watts Island. Word is Chris Watts is planning a wedding behind bars, and the bride to be none other than Lizzie L. We first reported this months ago, and now Plunder and Seeking the Truth with Dave have confirmed it. So, is this true love or just another twisted chapter on Watts Island? Stick around, drop your thoughts, and I'll be rolling the credits while the rest of the power crew drifts on in. Shout out to my replay crew and my dragonflies. I love you.
Carefully strumming his old guitar again. Words rolling out into our fire. If heaven had wings, I would steal them and fly away with you for a while. Hearing the essence of gratitude, your dreamy little smile on my lips. I miss my cue, but baby, I had you. Miss my cue, but I had you for that day.
Here in the blue, you know what I did? I forgot to get my microphone close to me. So hopefully you heard the intro. We're talking about Lizzie Lee. Isn't it interesting how many Lees we have today, or on this case, in the Watts case? We've got a lot of Nicoles, and we've got we've got Nicole, we've got the two Nicoles, Shannon's best friend, the mistress Nicole. Then we've got Lee, we've got Watts Lee. There was going to be Nico Lee. There is Ronnie Lee, and now we have Lizzie Lee. So it just seems to be a pattern in this case where we get a lot of the same names rolling in. Just another Lee in the Watts case. What do you guys think? I'm shocked. I'm not shocked, but I am shocked. I'm highly sad, disappointed. But we're going to look at who this Lizzie Lee is, and take it from there. Before we get started, if we could just start that algorithm dance party that I like to do, just start warming up your fingers and dancing them right up to the hearts and thumbs up button. Helps us dance out into the algorithm, party out there, bring more people back. It's just a free way to help me out. Today we're coming to you on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So hi, everyone. We also have a sponsor for today's show. One thing I want to touch on just really quick with the sponsorship, especially for those dealing with autoimmune issues, is how much that we put on our bodies matters just as much as what we put into them. That's why I've been loving Wild deodorant. It's aluminum-free, paraben-free, and made with natural ingredients that don't add to the toxic load our bodies are already fighting. For me, keeping things clean and gentle makes a huge difference in my immune system, and as well as my flares, and it helps me battle this fight. If you want to try it, head over to shopwildrefill.com/parawomen and use my code parawomen for 20% off your first purchase. We would love to have you. I will put the link down in the YouTube show notes, as well as it's in the chat. So thank you for supporting Parawomenradio on the Power Network. Okay, guys. So getting back to this, we had reported, how many months ago? It was 1 month ago that we reported that Chris Watts, the dark reality was that Chris Watts was going to remarry. And at the time I was like horrified by it. Crafted evidence had gotten the information about Lizzie L, and they had taken out the name for whatever reason, had taken out the name, but here where it's reported that Lizzie L was seeing Chris Watts on all of these occasions, and it was mused like who, why, what, where, how come, why would somebody do that? And it was put to the test, to the question, do you think Chris Watts is going to remarry? And the answer is yes, Chris Watts is going to remarry. And the woman has put herself into place for this marriage. Plunder next reported on this. And they reported on this 3 weeks ago. So a week after we reported on it, she came and reported further on it, and didn't give Lizzie L's picture, but she used a AI photo of Lizzie L. Today we're going to show you who Lizzie Lee actually is, because her picture is on the internet. Dave from Seeking the Truth has reported that, and he is close to the Watts family. He speaks to Cindy and Ronnie Watts, and he has reported that, yes, in fact, Chris is planning on remarrying, I guess, Lizzie L. And we're going to look into who Lizzie L is, and we're going to look on Plunder's page, and we're going to look on Seeking the Truth with Dave's page. We don't watch everything in its entirety, or if we read something, sometimes we won't read it in its entirety, but I will put everything that we view during our show down in the YouTube show notes. We do this to cite our sources, and we do this also for fair play use. Everything in this live is my research, my opinions. I encourage you to go out there and do your own. If we have differing opinions, that's okay by me. If you don't like somebody I talk about on here, that's okay by me. I might still like them. We're all allowed to have different opinions over here and still get along, as long as we do it nicely. So, hi, Jennifer Stewart. How are you? Okay, so this is Plunder, and this is not Lizzie L. This is an AI rendering, but it's very close to what Lizzie L looks like, right down to she put some purple in her hair.
Think would possess a woman maybe who kind of looks like me a little bit, but she's 20 years younger, almost 20 years younger than me. What would possess her to get in her car or whatever and drive 8 hours from Cleveland, Ohio, all the way up to Dodge?
So yes, Lizzie L is from Cleveland, Ohio, and she was driving all that way to meet with Chris Watts and fall in love with him. Plunder's going to tell a little bit, but when we get over to Dave's page, Dave's going to give some of the tea, some of the real tea about Lizzie L. So we got more coming. So buckle up, you guys. Be sure to give this live a share. It helps us go out there. I am trying to build my community. So if you could share it to your community page, that would help me out a ton. And I love you for every little bit of help that you can give me.
Correctional facility in Wisconsin. I mean, that's a 16-hour round trip to see convicted murderer Chris Watts. That's what I've been thinking about for about 2 days. Imagine her doing that 11 times.
Okay, well, spoiler alert, she's not doing that anymore because she's moved. Imagine moving to Wisconsin to be with Chris Watts. Imagine that.
And these visits with Watts, these in-person contact visits, they last 3 hours. So they're listed as contact visits on this latest info.
I think why is what we're all wondering, Dawn. Why? Why would she marry a psychopath? Did anyone talk to this troubled woman? No, I don't think so. And I don't want to do a complete spoiler alert, but Dave goes on to say that, and this is in Dave's words, or paraphrasing Dave's words, I should say, the mother of Lizzie L is a bigger psychopath. So take with that what you will.
I just received from Wisconsin DOC. They're not just the video visits you can do, from the comfort of your home with an inmate. That is 16 hours worth of travel round trip. I'm assuming she didn't drive 8 hours from Cleveland up to Wisconsin, visit him, talk for 3 hours, and then drive 8 hours back. I know some people can do that. When they're desperate, they can do it. They love driving. Maybe someone drove her. I don't know. But that's a lot of driving. That's a lot of effort. So if she didn't just do a round trip and just double on back, that means she likely had to spend money for a hotel room or stay somewhere, Verbo, an Airbnb. I keep asking myself why. Now, Chris Watts turned 40 years old this year, May 16th, 2025. His date of birth, as those of us on Watts Island remember, was May 16th, 1985. Now, this mystery woman, I'm not giving out her name, as you can tell, because people go crazy in these true crime cases. I mean, it's just, I try and protect people as much as possible. This woman, who's still on his approved visitors list as of last month, she is 38 years old. So as of June 6, 2025, Chris Watts had 7 people on his approved visitors list. His mom, his dad, his sister, a 45-year-old female friend. We've seen her name. I'm not naming her either, but we've seen her throughout this case. She's been there from the beginning. I believe she's just a friend of Chris. And then there's 5 and 6. They're a husband and wife team, 58 years old, 60 years old, respectively. This man's name we've seen from the beginning. He was in Discovery. He was a friend who lived in the same neighborhood as Watts. He went over to the Watts' house about 9:30 p.m. that fateful Monday, August 13th, 2018 night.
Jennifer, I just looked over at Dodge Correctional to see what the in-person visiting information is, and it says in-person visits at Dodge Correctional Institution are scheduled using Sign Up Genius. Visits are available Monday through Thursday and must be scheduled at least 2 business days, excludes Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays in advance. You may only schedule 2 total visits at any one time. Then it goes in and talks a lot about the scheduling. And then it says Dodge Correctional I don't know if it says anything about in person. It looks here, Dodge Correctional institutional video visiting information. I'll keep looking to see what type of visiting they have at Dodge.
When Shanann and the girls were just still missing. So that's 6 people, I kind of ruled them out like, oh, I know who these people are. I've seen people fall on and off his visitors list. The 7th name, however, was kind of new to me. She's this mystery woman, not the woman pictured in this video or through the thumbnails. Those are just recreations, mock-ups I had done just to give viewers kind of an inkling of what she kind of looks like. This is a woman who has been on his approved visitors list since May 8, 2023, and she's still on there as of last month. So she's been on there like 2 years. So lickety split after she got approved back in May, about 2 months after being approved, she headed on up from what might have been Chris Watts' first in-person visit in a long time. On July 24th, 2023, she spent from 3:01 p.m. to 6:02 p.m. in contact with Chris. Why did Chris give her such access? Now, I'm not exactly sure how it looks there. I'm not sure if she's able to be in a room with him and he's shackled or what the situation is. Some prisons are different. I can't really find how it looks inside of Dodge Correctional Facility. I don't know if they're like sitting across from a table. I don't know if it's like the movies where they have a glass between them. I can only kind of relate it to my local jail, where I go in for prison ministry. I don't think they're allowed to visit like.
I'm going to stop it and pop us over to here. It says Dodge Correctional Institute, how to visit an inmate. So, how to visit an inmate at Dodge Correctional Institute. Visiting an inmate can be a daunting and emotional experience, but it's an important way to show support and maintain connections with loved ones who are incarcerated. So, it looks like here is a photo. Check visiting hours and rules. Common visitation rules. You must be on the inmate's approved visitor list. You must bring a valid photo ID. You cannot bring certain items into the facility. You must follow the dress code. Prepare for your visit. So there's a pre-visit check. Who will you be visiting? Who will be visiting with you? Most facilities have a limit on the number of visitors per inmate. Tips for a successful visit. So it looks like there's video visitation and face-to-face visitation. Video visitation may be available as an alternative to in-person visits at Dodge Correctional Institute. You can check availability by visiting the official Dodge Correctional Institute website. So looks like at Dodge you can do both. Hope that helps. Let me see what you guys are saying. $20 in change. They're allowed to bring $20 in change. I think that's so they can go over and when Cindy and Ronnie talked about their visit, they talked about the vending machines. And I remember Ronnie talking about buying a cheeseburger and throwing the plate in front of Chris and talking about how he possibly could have squeeze the girls in there.
Face to face where they can touch. They have these video screens. Like, even though you go down to the jail, you don't go and like sit across from the person or, talk on the phone where you see them through a glass partition. There, it's still like a video visit, but you're in the prison. I don't know. Would she drive 8 hours for just a video visit like that? In prison video visit? No, I think it's probably more in contact. Maybe across from a table, I don't know. But again, I'm not going to dox her. I'm not going to give her real name. I will upload these documents, but I'm sure I'll redact them still onto Patreon. So look for that link below. So once I saw this woman's name, and she has a pretty unique name, and of course I, did my due diligence. I love to researching her age, her name, everything. From what I gather, this is a woman who hails from Cleveland. She's an entrepreneur. She's worked in fields like hospitality, management, internet, retail, etc., according to her LinkedIn profile. And this woman by far has the most in-person visits to Chris Watts last year in 2024, more than his mom and dad even. If I pulled up my previous Chris Watts public records request, I can compare that and see where I left off. I like to see the whole story.
His mom and dad haven't visited since 23 because Cindy got sick. I think she had to have hip surgery or knee surgery, and then Ronnie had a heart attack. So they have not been able to visit, which it would make sense to me why now Chris is all the sudden, like, oh, I better get married, because his parents aren't going to live forever. And really, those are the only people in the world that give a shit about him, I would think. So he better, get somebody else who gives a shit about him. And so cue Lizzie Lee, I guess, right?
So we're going to take a look at her dates of visits, and I wonder why these visits abruptly stopped on July 25th, 2024. I don't think it's because Chris Watts has been moved. I believe that was fake news going around a few months ago, some kind of mistake.
So we're going to go forward. Again, I will put the link. We're going to pop over to Rumble and look at Dave's video on this. As I said, Dave is in contact with Ronnie and Cindy Watts. And so he has confirmed that, yes, he is going to marry this Lizzy Lee. And he talks a little bit about it. He talks a little bit about Plunder and the things that he got wrong. She got wrong. Sorry, not he. That she got wrong. and goes into a little more detail. Now, I know some of you are not fans of this channel. I really don't, you know, I don't believe in censorship. I don't believe he should have been taken off of YouTube. I might not have agreed with everything he had to say, but I don't agree with it. I'm going to give him credit for this because we always cite our sources. And he is the one that is bringing this information about Lizzie Lee. He is the one that is the closest to the Watts. And so I do believe this. Like I'm standing 10 toes down on that. I believe that Chris Watts is getting married to Lizzie Lee. But again, this is just all my opinion. I urge you to go out there and, you know, do your own research on it.
A couple of important things. 37 chicks here. Beppy Cakes is here. Awesome. So, g'day, Ellen Cynthia. Welcome to the show. All right, so during the week, Plunder put a video up. And I just need to correct a couple of things that she said in her video, because as everyone knows, I'm in the know when it comes to everything Chris at the moment. And I hopefully can explain a couple of things. This isn't a debunk video. This isn't a horrible video. It's to expand on Paula's video that she put out there. That's Plunder, who I'm talking about. I'm going to play a little bit of it, and then I'll get into a bit of a presentation that I need to share with you all.
Think would possess a woman maybe who kind of looks like.
Okay, so we're going to skip around in this video. So there he confirms that, yes, indeed, that Chris is planning on marrying this Lizzie L. And he goes through Plunder's video bit by bit and corrects anything that he thinks she got wrong.
If she's able to be in a room with him.
Okay. Righto. So I've protected the last name, and that's about it. Okay, so let's have a little look at this. I'll go. Which one will I do? That one? No. That one? That one. Righto. We'll do that one. Righto. So her name's Lizzie. She's 38. Okay. Now, Wanda is talking about driving 8 hours. Why would she drive 8 hours 11 times to visit Chris? Well, she did initially, right from the very start. And I will show you this form in a minute. Yes, the 5th of August, 2023 is when, so almost 2 years, almost 2 years ago, she ended up on Chris's visitors list. So, but as you can see, this is a location of where she lived. She was living in Cleveland all her life. And all of a sudden, she decides after April the 1st, 2024, she's going to move to Wisconsin. Yes, everybody, Wisconsin.
I'm sorry. I think I said Wyoming in the beginning. It's Wisconsin. I did that just recently on the Jody Arias case. I said I used the lawyer for Casey Anthony instead of Jody Arias. I don't know why I did that, but I can always tell when a flare is kind of like looming a little bit because I get my names, and I mix things up ever so slightly.
And I will show you guys where she has just moved. She just moved from Sturtevant, Wisconsin, to Racine, Wisconsin. And Racine, Wisconsin is 96.4 miles away, about an hour and a half. Okay, so she's not driving 8 hours. If you had done a little bit more research, Paula, you would have actually seen that she now lives in Wisconsin, just south of Happy Days. You're not surprised she doesn't run into the funds on the way up to Warburton. Anyway, as you can see, she's living in Wisconsin. Okay, since April the 1st, 2024. Now, what would make somebody want to visit somebody in prison, then become his girlfriend? And now,
indeed, that is the question of the hour, of the moment, of the day, of the year, of the century. What?
they're going to get married. And her mother
I'm sorry, what? Could you say that again, Dave? I'm just going to pop that back.
is apparently going to be the celebrant, his girlfriend. And now they're going to get married. And her mother is apparently going to be the celebrant at the.
Okay, so Dave is saying that Lizzie L married or moved there because they are getting married, and Lizzie Lee's mother is going to be the person who officiates it
prison.
at the prison.
And they can't have sex because no conjugal visits are legally allowed at Dodge or in Wisconsin for that matter. Now,
I know a lot of people, that'll be your question. Conjugal visits. Dave is saying that no, there isn't. And I believe that the Watts family would know about this. Now, you're probably wondering, do the Watts like Lizzie Lee? Let's find out.
Why would somebody want to marry someone who's in prison for murdering his wife, his 2 children, and his unborn child? And they're never getting out. They actually don't want to get out. Why would they want to befriend somebody in prison and go visit them? It makes you wonder. Well, where I really wonder and have wondered is a little bit of information came out about 18 months ago from Sherilyn Cadle, who mentioned she knew somebody who was visiting Chris and then actually gave a fictitious name. Didn't give the first name of Lizzie, gave a different name that starts with L. Well, that made me really think, is Cadle behind the whole thing? Is this all about getting out another fake book? I'm not the only person who believes Cadle is behind this. I'm not alone in thinking this.
So they're thinking that Sherilyn Cadle is the one that has leaked the Lizzie Lee information, but a month ago, Crafted Evidence got the Lizzie Lee information. So when did Sherilyn Cadle do this?
Now, why would this innocent person want to visit Chris, go and see Chris, and spend time with Chris? Why would this innocent person have 30 email addresses? 30 email addresses. 30. Yes.
Do you think Lizzie Lee is working on her own book, perhaps?
Everybody, 30 emails. And why would her mother, who watches me religiously, because she reports back to Lizzie on things Dave may or may not have said on his shows, and then Lizzie tells Chris, then Chris tells his parents, and Chris, because she gets upset, Lizzie gets upset and jealous when anything to do with Chris's exes are ever brought up.
So when I heard Dave say this, it made me go into overdrive where I thought, who do you think makes Lizzie Lee the most jealous? I think it's probably Nicole Kessinger. Drum roll. Nicole Kessinger is probably the number one person that makes her the most jealous. But who do you think is the second person that makes her jealous? Because I had to think like of all his girlfriends. I mean, I believe that Amanda, the one that he met at the Chick-fil-A or whatever, I believe that he did have an affair with her. I do believe that for the background, what I've been told by some very reliable sources. So I do believe, and I do believe like 80% that this might be where he got the substances that he tried to poison Shanann with. So there's Amanda, and then there was the weird psychologist that didn't really care who she got with. She ended up with Dylan, but I think she really was aiming for Chris. You think there's Jim? Jim was in it. You think he's jealous? She's jealous of Jim. It's true. I do believe that Chris likes the fellas too, but this is just all my opinion. So Jim, leave Jim alone. She's jealous of him, perhaps. Okay. Who do you think? Who do you think could possibly be on the jealousy list that Lizzie L would be upset about?
There was a situation 18 months ago when Sherilyn Cadle wrote a book, and in the book, she actually said, oh, Chris told her that him and Nikki had sex on the kitchen counter, which is a complete load of shit. Cindy debunked it by talking to Chris. But that got back to Lizzie, and Chris was upset with his mother for talking to me about such things. Hello, Sherilyn Cadle put it in the book. So this is the link. It all starts with Sherilyn Cadle. And I believe wholeheartedly this is about getting another fictitious book out there.
What I'm curious about is, does Dave believe that the fictitious book is going to be co-authored by Lizzie Lee and her mother with Sherilyn Cadle? Or is Sherilyn Cadle just putting out another book? Because I mean, I don't believe Sherilyn Cadle anymore. I mean, I believe she's another person in this case that she probably has some truth sprinkled in there, but she with her plagiarism, and it's been a proven fact that she plagiarized and that her first book was removed, it just really makes me feel weird about Sherilyn Cadle. How do you guys feel about Sherilyn Cadle?
My honest opinion, and I am not alone in thinking this. Because if she marries him, you know, and then she puts out a book, she could write anything in the book. She can say, Chris said this, Chris told me this. You know, apparently her mum is all over social media, and her mum has about 8 aliases, 8 different aliases, and her mum is also 70 years old.
You know,
I'd like to.
I was just thinking the best thing that age has done for me is it has calmed me down. I do not feel the need to have that many aliases or engage in that many fights on the internet. Like, you would think that it would calm you down, but some people, I guess it just doesn't calm them down. They just enjoy the thrill of the fight.
I think one of my loyal watchers for getting that information to me today, because it was very, very important to get that piece of information, because I also found out today that her mother is all over social media and causing a lot of shit on Reddit. Yes, everybody, her mother is on Reddit and getting people banned from Reddit.
If this is true, I do not like censorship at all.
Getting them banned from Reddit. And we're talking people who have known Chris most of their lives getting banned off Reddit.
How is that possible to get people banned off of Reddit? Like, what are I'm very curious. Maybe he goes on to say.
Yes, these elderly trolls, they're unbelievable, aren't they? Right, so she had 30 email addresses, everybody. Now, not long before she decided to let friend Chris and go and visit him for the first time in 2023.
I literally can't do it anymore. It will send me into a direct flare. If I want to be sick for 2 weeks, I will, like engage in some kind of fighting on the internet or in person, or I can't do it anymore. I won't do it anymore. I will talk things out with people, but I won't fuss and fight and argue and go back and forth. I literally can't do it. If I want to do anything else in this lifetime, I just have to let that kind of stuff go. And I think that for a lot of people, when you tell me you have an autoimmune, I often think, like, what is your battle? What outside forces are you battling that you just need to give up the fight and just figure out a happy life? Because living a happy life is so much more fulfilling. It is so, I went through like 3-4 years of hell, so miserable, had just at the end, wit's end. My autoimmunes were at their worst. I had a brain bleed. I had pulmonary embolisms. I couldn't do it anymore. And so I had to let it go. And it's the best thing that I've ever done. And in letting go, it meant I had to go into my darkness and figure myself out. So it's the best thing that's ever happened to me, but the hardest. So if you're struggling that struggle, I urge you to let the fight go. It's just not worth it.
2 bankruptcies discharged in March of that year. So she's only just come out of bankruptcy.
Rosie! Hi, honey.
She's done really well. She's actually told Chris. Found out this today as well. She's told Chris she passed the bar exam. She's a lawyer. She's told Chris she's a nurse. She's told Chris she's all these things. Reminds me of another 70-year-old that trolls the island who hates Nicole Kessinger.
Who is that? 70-year-old that patrols the island that hates Nicole Kessinger? Don't know who that is.
Thank you, Wens. That's very, very kind of you.
Thank you, Rose.
Yes, yes, and Mummy's husband is 57. That's right. She's a cradle snatcher.
Well,
right,
men have been doing that all this time. But like, I was thinking today, it feels weird to even like men that are in their 40s these days, because like I think about like even thinking a man who was 40, that would mean that I was his babysitter at one point. Like, it's just weird. It's just weird for me. I would rather date a man that is like 5-6 years younger or 5-6 years older. Like, keep it there. That's where I'm at. But to each their own, I guess, as long as it's legal.
Just come out of bankruptcy. Oh, what will I do? Oh, I'll become friends with a murderer. That's what I'll do. Yes, I'll all of a sudden think of all this by myself. I'll befriend Chris Watts. Yes, my ideal man. So she gets in Cleveland and heads over to Wisconsin. I mean, who the fuck would actually volunteer to go to Wisconsin? Anyway, that's another story.
No, I'm the old one. I am the old one in this situation. You're not, Olga. I'm just old. I just don't. I see, like, especially like, I couldn't imagine dating a 30-year-old. That would be like dating a baby. I don't know. It's weird to me, but to each their own, as long as it's legal. But personally, it's not for me.
Okay.
Watch, I'm going to meet somebody who's really young or something, and then I'm going to have to eat my words. But really, it's not for me as of today.
This is Lizzie, everybody. It's out there everywhere on social media. This is actually Lizzie.
Well, I'm 50, so I mean,
Now,
I'm old.
Lizzie runs International Lee Corporation out of Lakeland, and she went to Lakeland Community College. History.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it and I'm going to read this myself. Let me get the closed captions off of here.
Of experience.
If I can get the closed captions off. Huh. I don't know. It's not letting me get the closed captions off, but let me make it bigger. So Lizzie Lee, she's an entrepreneur, a business owner, International Lee Corporation. She has a history of experience and work ethic. My experience ranges over different fields of business, from management, hospitality to support customer services, as well as internet retail, to even my share of office assisting. I am a hard worker and a diligent individual in whatever field of work I do. I've had plenty of professional experiences where I always meet or aspire to meet standards preset for me. As any individual, I am imperfect, but I hold professionalism and my work ethic near and dear. What would people think that if you're, and I'm married to Chris Watts, somebody who annihilated his entire family over P. That's me, Lizzie Lee. Is I also aspire to be the best professional that I can be in the business of infinite possibilities, the international market. That's worded weird. There is more to me than what I can put into words, but actions speak louder than words. So I will move and marry Chris Watts. Let me show you what my actions can say. So let's keep going. He goes on to show some more of her social medias.
Okay. I hope we all get in the picture here. She's not on social media, but here she is on LinkedIn.
So according to Lizzie Lee, she's not on social media, but Dave is finding her all over social media. So point taken, Dave. Point taken.
And here on Facebook again. And her mum is all over Reddit.
Okay, so that's Lizzie Lee. I will put the link for this live if you want to go and watch it. We don't watch everything because I like to keep it all nice and juicy for the creator who created it. So I will put the link down in the description and you can go over and watch Dave's live in its entirety if you want, because he does go on. He talks more about Lizzie Lee and talks about the mother and how like the Watts don't like the Watts. They don't like each other, and a little bit of this and that. So over on Reddit, I wanted to go over and see like what's going on over on Reddit with Lizzie Lee and the mother, but I didn't really find a whole lot. But I did see here that somebody put in the Watts free for all. It says, so apparently Chris Watts is getting married. And here is a clip where the Watts filed seeking the truth with Dave case discussion. Read on Reddit that Chris got married. Have you seen it, Dave? And Dave put, he is getting married. I reported on and confirmed the rumors on the weekend during my last live stream. So then a discussion comes out and it says, do you have a credible source for this? I Googled and nothing came up, and not even the rag mags. Well, I mean, I'm sorry, but mainstream media for me is no longer a credible source, because look what they're doing with Gypsy Rose. They do not report the truth on her. So do you think they're going to, I mean, I bet you now they're going to pick up that Chris is going to get married, because now there's 3 of us that have reported on this. And so I bet you now it will finally get picked up. And I do hope that the person who is giving the most information gets the credit for it. I hope we all get credit for it because it's kind of a combined effort. But yeah, the parents are the credible source. Why would his parents say this? To whom did they say it? If this is true, it would have been trending on Yahoo or every media platform. Well, I mean, it might have happened if not everybody is over on Rumble. So it takes a little time for things to seep over from Rumble. Some people aren't buying it. They didn't do a press release. That's more RZ style. That would be. How about we just wait and see if it happens? If it does, then it will be over the media. Then maybe don't shoot the messenger. I'm just passing it on. So people aren't believing it. Are you believing it? I'm believing it. I actually, like I said, I'm standing 9.5 toes down. I mean, they could break up and maybe it's not going to happen. But I think as of now, it's planning. I think it's in the works. I think it's closer to happening than not happening. What do you guys think? Let me get myself situated and see what you guys are saying. Lizzie is pretty. Why would she want CW? Do they get conjugal visits? No, they don't get conjugal visits. I have no idea why she would want him. Maybe she is wanting to write a book. Is she teaming up with Sherilyn Cadle to write a book? I don't know. Like, why? Like that? I don't know. I 100 agree. Oh, so you agree too that it's happening? Who can't wait to see the wedding photos? I mean, I feel like if they're all over on Reddit that these women want to be seen and heard. I have a sneaky suspicion that they want to be known who they are, but they should do a press release. That is very Rushek-like, isn't it? You're going to believe it when you see it. I believe it. I believe it's happening. I believe that they're planning it. And I mean, but it could maybe not happen if something goes wrong, if they fight, is Lizzie Lee gets insanely jealous, if Lizzie Lee's mom, if Mommy Lee gets weird, if Mommy Lee fights with Cindy and Ronnie Lee. Anything could happen, but I think it's in the work. Oh, yeah. I wonder who that is these days. Or maybe they learn to share. Don't they share pretty well? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Rosie. But she who married Bundy believed he was innocent, I think. Yeah, I think Bundy, I thought Dylan, but I wasn't going to say it. So I let Olga say it for me. My Gen X, I put a filter on my Gen X humor, but thank you. Thank you, Olga. What did Anders Gustafsson say? I must have missed it. Oh, yeah. Yes, I didn't miss it. I just read it out loud and then replied to it. Yeah, but I think in the end, they all realized, even Bundy's parents realized in the end that, yes, indeed, he did do it. Does Lizzy Lee think that he didn't do it? What kind of stories is he telling Lizzy Lee these days? And isn't it interesting that he has found like a mother-daughter duo that love him? Kind of like how he did with Shanann, because I felt like Shanann's family kind of like adopted Chris, And I feel like it's happening again. I don't doesn't like Jamie. You mean Lizzie? I don't think they do like each other. I think that from what Dave said, he didn't name names, but Lizzie Lee's mother over on Reddit has been getting people that know and love Chris for many years kicked off of Reddit. So would that include the Watts? I don't know. He does go in the video and talks about more about why the Watts haven't visited and how they're not doing too well. So, and I'll put the link if you guys want to finish and watch it. Yeah. Okay. So you didn't, Lizzie. Yeah. I don't think they do like each other. Yeah. It's a real sickness that people have. And some people, like some women don't trust. And so they believe having a man locked up is the way to trust. But for me, I would be worried. Well, I would think that he was going to cheat with a man. And I would rather, like, I don't know. I'm not homophobic, but for me personally, having a man that wants to have sex with other men isn't attractive to me. I like very masculine men. I'm very drawn to that because I have a strong will. Let's just say that. And I need a masculine man too. And I would be worried that he would be cheating with other men. That would be my biggest worry. So not for me, but if it's for you, to each their own, I always say, but I definitely know what's for and not for me. So yeah, that'll be another thing. Do you think the Watts will attend this wedding? Do you think they'll make it a point to make it to this wedding, or will they like physically be not able to make it to the wedding because they're sick? Although I hope they're getting better. I hope Ronnie's feeling better, and I hope Cindy's doing better. And I hope all is well on the Ruchek side. And I really hope that for Frankie, is able to meet a woman and get out there and live his life, because I feel like, yeah. Anyway, that's another story. I am working on this video of all of Chris Watts's girls, the women in his life. So if you can think of any girlfriend that he's had during his prison stay, I would be like, just put it down in the comments. Just put the name down and I'll research it. I'm going to put all the women in Chris Watts's life together for a video, just to show the madness of the women around him. Okay, guys, I think that's all I have for today. Don't forget that Wild Deodorant is our sponsor today. So if you want to support the channel even more, we have a 20% off code for you. Just use Parawomen. And I will put the link and the code in the show notes. Let me get this up on the screen. I really do like this deodorant, and I like that it comes in these cute little refillable things. It's not just deodorant. They also have soaps and lippy stuff. So it's good stuff. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Thank you guys for being here. Happy Weird Watts Wednesday. Go out there and touch grass. Enjoy your day. And if nobody's told you this today, and even if they have, I'm still going to tell you this. I love you guys so, so much. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. And if you're not subscribed, why are you not subscribed? I would really, really, really love to have you as a power subscriber. If you really like my content, be sure to become a dragonfly, and that's our membership, and it's $2.99 a month. I release all my videos early. We have special emojis over in the chat room. I kind of share things ahead of time with my dragonflies, and I go live sometimes just for the dragonflies. It's a way that I can support you guys and give you more content, and it's a way for you to support our channel. It's $2.99 a month, and I would love to have you.
I miss my cue, baby, I had you. Miss my cue, but I had you for that day. Here in the blue, I'm falling deep.
Be sure to give this live a thumbs up. Helps me go out into the algorithm party out there. Bring more people back to the party. It's just a good way to help me.
Baby, I'm dancing with you tonight, and it feels fine, feels fine. Baby, I'm dancing with you tonight. Here in the blue, I'm dancing and falling out, hoping for some time with you.